Hey everybody, welcome back to In a Perfect World, where we talk about people's biggest dreams and their creative journeys. Joining me today, I have rap artist and performer AsaTheProdigy.
What's going on?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Man.
Kinda. I'm tired. But we here. We live.
Right. Man, like you were saying before, I haven't seen you since like 2017, 16 when you graduated.
That.
So it's good to see you healthy, happy, doing your thing still,
and
taking on the role of husband and the role of dad.
I appreciate that.
Super exciting.
Yeah. Shout out wifey. You know what I mean? Shout out my baby. Shout out my son. You know what I mean? All that.
All right, let's get into it. So, in a perfect world, what is it that you do to I usually say support you, but support your family and support the people around you? What is the vision for AsaTheProdigy? What do you see for yourself?
What do I see for myself? I say more than anything, I really just want to do family really well and have the money to enjoy the community around me, like the people that God put around me and the family that God placed around me. In short, Grammys are cool. I want to be able to sell out as big a venue as the Lord will allow me to sell out, and sell as many records as God will allow me to sell, be as big of an artist as God will allow me to be. But at the end of the day, bro, I want to be able to make sure that I can really be there for my family and enjoy my family, because all that industry stuff, the career stuff, the work, the grind, all that, when you go home and you turn the lights off and you go to bed at night, you're gonna have to go to bed with the reality of your living situation when you leave, when all that stuff over with, when you get off the socials and when you get off everything, you're gonna really have to sit there and realize what you did with your personal life. That's what you gonna come home to, no matter what. So yeah, the music is dope. I want to make sure that I'm the biggest artist that I can possibly be, talent wise, marketing wise, whatever. But I want to make sure that my family is my family dynamic is through the roof.
Yeah, that is so important, because we see a lot of celebrities in the spotlight that have families and they just be having meltdowns. I feel like that has a lot of what you just said, a lot to do with why they do that. When they go home, something isn't right, because they just spending so much time in the industry worried about X, Y, and Z. And then I like that you said you're interested in getting awards and stuff like that, because the musicians I had on, they didn't really care for that. I had a lot of musicians on, but they didn't really seem to care for Grammys, BET awards and stuff like that.
I'm gonna do this right now. Hey, Cornell Holder, shout out Cornell Holder, shout out Sabrina Holder, shout out Medium Creative Agency, brought me through to the DC chapter of the Grammys. They had they party, brought me through, showed me love. Shout out to Miss Tamara. Listen, if you seeing this, shout out to Elise Perry. If you seeing this, listen, we here. All the Grammy board in DC, we live. You know what I'm saying? You know me. I know you. I want a Grammy. Okay? I want the Grammy. DC, I want the Grammy. I do. I got the records. I don't care what nobody talking about. Listen, when Cornell submit the album, show me some love. Okay? All my chapter friends, all my homies in the DC chapter, I want a Grammy. Clearly, come on. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
I love it, because they don't be caring. I'm y'all not gonna downplay the Grammy.
No.
You know how many people want, big people want Grammys, BET awards, Emmys. I guess that's acting, but still, I so aspire to be in those rooms.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And the academy, and the thing about the Recording Academy, man, is it really is just a community of musicians and a community of people that really love to make music. That's really all it is. At the end of the day, they really love to make music, and they vote for, who is making the best music to them.
Yeah.
So it's you crazy if you're not trying to impress some of your peers.
Right.
I understand we do the music for the art, we do it for the love, and that sound cool, but look, I want my peers to vote for me on the board. I'm making that clear, I'm making that public. Okay, I care. You know what I mean? Obviously, you gotta be yourself. I'm not gonna compromise to get the vote, but at the end of the day, I would love for the DC chapter to vote my next project to go to the next level. I would love that.
That's unreal. Can you imagine? That's gonna be a reality one day.
Listen, I receive it. I take it.
Yeah,
I take
absolutely.
it. I take it.
So when the shows come on, you like front and center. You watch. Do you watch, or do you kind of just keep up with who wins? Because I watch. I got to see everything happen live.
For a minute, I was watching everything,
Uh-huh.
and then like, as of recent, I'm just really caught up in my real life, like my personal life.
Oh yeah.
So there's a balance, right? Like, to where I still want that. I want that industry love and camaraderie, but at the same time, I understand that what I'm called to do in this space by God is different than what everybody else on. And a part of that calling is me being just like in real life. Mm-hmm. And I say like in real life because it'd be like, oh nah, like music is real life. Like, what you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, nah, bro, like your family is real life. Your moms, your dad, your peoples, your girl, your cousins, like that's your real life. I don't care what nobody say. Like, what we look like on these apps, like, it can be perceived to be whatever people want it to be. Mm-hmm. And so because of that, I try to have a certain level of just like balance to where I'm not overly consumed with the space of music, because my wife needs me. Like, she needs her husband. You know what I mean? Like, my son, he's 4 months, but he needs his dad. Like, the stuff that takes place in a baby when they're that young, like the subconscious things that take place, the environment, like the love they get, all of that stuff matters to them, and it builds like emotional development and character in the baby. It's a real thing. So, excuse me, I can't be too caught up in my craft, because like I want my wife to feel my presence when I'm home. I don't want to just be the dad that was around or the dad that was there, but he won't dare. Like, my family never, like my wife, my kids, they'll never be able to say that about me, God willing, like, ever. So I just practice that now, you know.
Dang. This is gonna be a good episode. This is gonna be a good episode.
and it's real life. Like, I can't even, like, I'm not even like coming up here capping to you. Like, even before I left, like, my wife was salty. Like, I live a brick away. She was like, oh my gosh, she probably could have came, but like having Shiloh in this joint at this age. Listen, there's gonna be a point in time though where my wife and Shiloh gonna be with me everywhere. Absolutely. Like, all the time, like on some Toby and Igwe. You know what I mean? Shout out Toby. Shout out Toby and Igwe. I want to tour with you. I want to tour. And this is documented. So whenever that happened and we run the joint back, we run the clip back. I said it first.
Don't let it go over your head.
And shout out Caitlin Duff too. Shout out Caitlin Duff.
So tell me how you originally got involved with your craft, and when you decided, you know, I can actually do something with this. I should take this seriously. What was that moment like?
When I heard a Millie, when I was in the 3rd grade, he dropped Carter 3, 2008. I was in the 3rd grade. I had an MP3 player. I wasn't even supposed to be listening to secular music because I grew up listening to Christian hip hop and Christian this, everything. Mm-hmm. But man, it was Hot 91. Shout out Norfolk State University and Hot 91 down in the 7-5. I'm DMV forever, but I'm 7-5 forever, even more. You know what I'm saying?
You from Norfolk?
No, I'm from Portsmouth. But Norfolk State, they have their own radio station. Okay. And that was the radio station, I believe, that was playing a Millie. I heard a Millie, bro. I was like, nah, this is what I want to do with my life forever. Like, day one, when I heard that, because I was always intrigued with hip hop, but when I heard that record, I was like, nah, this is what I'm doing forever. Like, period. I was 9 years old.
So, you know how people say you should never meet your idols? Would you want to meet him?
Absolutely. I want to pray for Wayne. I want to talk to Wayne, and I want to tell him thank you. Like, yeah, it's not even close. Like, yeah, I want to meet Wayne. Like, I want to meet all of them. Yeah. You know what I mean?
They say, never meet your idols, because I don't know if you kept up with when Lotto and Nicki got together, and then they ended up beefing. She was Nicki Minaj, her number one fan, even when she became Lotto and she was still famous and stuff like that. And they worked together. they ended up beefing. I'm like, dang. So if they would have never met or never collabed, she probably would have still been Nicki Minaj #1 fan. That's just something I think about too, when they say don't meet your idols. But let me tell you, if the opportunity comes up, I'm meeting them.
I respect it.
I'm meeting them.
I respect it.
No questions asked.
Absolutely.
So going back to the industry, you had an opportunity to actually be signed with a label, and ultimately, you know, they decided to go a different way. But I remember you mentioning it was like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
So I need the whole backstory.
All right. So the whole backstory, without me taking up the whole part of this, the whole episode. Basically, in short, shout out to Shy D and Carnell Dixon. I said the government. I understand, but I had to say the government because shout out CJ. Those are my managers at the time. I was in high school. It was my junior year, and I was about to put out ILook. And R.I.P. Big K. He just recently passed away. The guy, the A&R that was like that they was connected to. Very respected A&R and Def Jam. Very, very beloved. The plaques, the records he was involved in, like it's not even close, bro really was a legend, and is a legend, you know. But they had linked up with Big K, and he didn't like ILook at all. He hated that joint, bruh. And for y'all that know, ILook, basically, for y'all that don't know, ILook is probably like to date probably the biggest record that I got until I make something that's gonna blow that joint out the water. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't like the record. I performed it. He hated it. He was like, I never want to hear from Asa ever again.
Jesus Christ.
I never want to hear this dude rap nothing. Right? It was a whole thing. But I was like, I know that this record is special. Like, I know this joint gonna go crazy. I hadn't dropped it yet. I had performed it at like a Def Jam showcase or whatever on September. I dropped ILook in October the next month and performed it at Suitland High School for the very first time a month after he was like, I hate it. And everybody was singing the song back to me the first time I performed it. Like, they caught on to the hook, and it was like 300-400 kids like screaming the lyrics at the top of their lungs. One of the craziest moments ever. And he saw me going from high school to high school because I was doing a tour. He saw how them schools was reacting. He was like, man, let me give Asa another shot. Let me bring Asa around. So he started bringing me around. We had a studio session. He A&R'd one of my records. Actually, the outro to my very first mixtape, he A&R'd. Him and an engineer named Hey Indo.
What's A&R? I'm sorry.
So basically, an A&R is artist and relations, right? Back in the day, those were the people that would take you to the label to get signed. And that role has developed and changed significantly over time as the industry has changed. So when you hear somebody saying like they A&R the record, they kind of like produce the record. They kind of like help put the pieces together. So yeah, him and Hey Indo A&R Money on Black Neo. That's where I spent my 17th birthday in the studio. It was my first birthday away from home working. It was kind of cool. And but yeah, as cool as he was with me, as much as he knew I was talented, he was not taking me to nobody label. He was not doing it. Like, he brought me to North Carolina. Like, I was performing in like I was performing in like clubs and stuff. He brought me through as like his special guest. Like, I'm in the club, I'm like 17. They giving me Fiji bottles at will, like cases of them, because I would only drink Fiji at the time. I'm 17. I got the X on my hand. You can't tell me nothing at this time. But as cool as we were, bro, he was not bringing me to that label, bro. I got salty because he wouldn't sign me, and you know, it was just wild, bro. Because I was just like, man, like I knew the type of deals they was having, like I knew all that. I was just like, bro, like, what's going on, bro? Like, just rock with me. Like, you got me here, you got me there. We doing this show, we doing that show. Like, you see what I'm doing? Like, I got your number. Like, just take me to the offices. Like, and then the song ILook was just like doing crazy on TikTok. It was going dumb.
I remember that.
So I'm like, how I got all this and you not gonna take me to nobody label? And fast forward, you know, we reconciled. Of course, it was still cool later on. But recently, I think it was like He passed away last month. I hit him up in October. And he was just like, I was just like, man, thank you. Like, because if I would have got signed at that time, I probably wouldn't even be rapping no more. If I would have blew up off ILook as big as we knew it could be, I wouldn't even have been on the type of time that I've been on today. I wouldn't have the family structure I got. I wouldn't be in position to really like maximize my gift and maximize who I am in the call that I'm supposed to have on this earth by God, you know what I'm saying, by Christ. So, you know, it was a blessing in disguise. And he hit me up. He was like, man, basically in short, he was like, I didn't know how to tell you what, you know, because he's a believer as well. Okay. And he was just like, man, like basically God told him not to sign me. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense because it's like the road that I'm on now. Yeah. You know.
And then you said your junior year, that's when you got with your wife.
Yep.
Look at that.
I got with my wife because all of that. I would say in the sense of when I started to see like the music start to take off, I was like, and I was actually dating a girl a different girl when I dropped ILook. And then the way that she handled like me getting that level of clout, I broke up with her the next day. I just want to say publicly, I know that was wild. It was homecoming and everything.
Oh my God! Asa.
I broke up with her on homecoming day. I did. I didn't have no cut. I didn't have no cut cards because for me, it's like if you, I've always been very purpose driven. And when you're purpose driven, when you are purpose driven, you gotta really like remove everything that does not align with the call of God on your life. Just move it out the way. Like if it's not for you, bruh, do not hesitate, because at the end of the day, you can make money back. You can get shoes, you can get clothes back. You cannot get time back. You will never get that time back. You will never get the time you spent with this person doing this, doing that, doing something that's like being somewhere you shouldn't be at, being outside when you really should be inside, grinding, working, building, being wild when you really should be staying down with the girl that you should be, or the guy, whatever your situation is. If like, you know, like if you a girl, whatever, like you gotta really lock in with your purpose, bruh, and lock in with what God has called you to do. And when you not locked in, bruh, and you start to see that stuff ain't working, you have to move it. So yes, I was wild. I broke up with her the next day. It was a whole thing. But I was like, nah, like she can't handle where I'm going. Like that's how I saw it. And it was nothing nobody was gonna be able to tell me. Like, so I broke up with her, ended up with Gabby a month later.
Shout out Gabby.
Shout out my wife, because Gabby was my best friend the whole time. Yeah. Like even the girl I was, I'm gonna say that. For
no, trust me, I'm already knowing.
So boom.
I'm already knowing. That's exactly what In a Perfect World is about. One of the things it's about is just like getting locked in, eliminating distractions, and doing what you got to do to create your perfect world. Because one thing I'm finding out, nobody can create my dream life for me. Like I'm the only one that can create opportunities for me.
Facts.
I'm the only one that can go out and do what I do. You get what I'm saying? You can't have your mom or your best friend. Sometimes you just got to go out there and do it, no matter how scared you are, how much doubt you have, because
it's facts. It's facts, bro.
If I let fear and doubt stop me from everything I wanted to do, this would be a regular room in my house. This would be a regular room. It wouldn't be nothing down here.
And the joint fly. The joint fly.
That joint made me emotional, low key, because it just be so much going on in my head, and I know you know, like
absolutely.
It's so many people who got podcasts and stuff like that, but nobody does it the way I do it. Nobody does music the way you do it.
And that's what makes you special. And that's what you gotta remember, like, and you can't, and that's why I be ducked off the grid. Not to cut you off, I hope I'm not.
No, go ahead.
This why I be ducked off the grid, because I realize that comparison is the thief of all joy. So when you start to see like other people doing this and other people doing that, it's like what Kanye say is like, man, I was having nervous breakdowns. Like, man, these people are that much better than me. Like, you gotta really just lock in with you. And understand that, like you said, nobody doing it how you doing it, and appreciate what you have to bring to the table, and just maximize on what you got. I stand.
picking one thing and just going full-fledged with that. And then not to say you can only do one thing.
Nah,
it's
100%.
like focusing on one thing. Once you maximize that, then you focus on another thing.
Absolutely.
You focus on another thing. And then that's how you build the empire and you build the life that you want.
Facts. I still don't know how to ride no bike.
What?
I don't know how to ride a bike. I don't know how to do like regular people stuff because all I did was music all my life. Because before I was rapping, I'm a musician at heart. I'm a drummer for real. I went to Suitland for percussion. I was in the band. I was in the VPA. So I'm really a drummer, bro. Like rapping was a skill that I learned, to be honest with you, and something I prayed to have the ability to do. I ain't come out the womb rapping.
I didn't know that.
No.
I knew you did drums, but
Yeah,
I thought, I don't know.
No, I ain't come out nobody room rapping how I was rapping, bro. Like, all I did was music, bro. That's it. Because I knew that's all I was doing. People thought I was crazy. People was looking at my parents wild. It's like, nah, bro. Like, that boy going into piggyback on the beginning question when you was like, when did I know, like, oh, I could do something with this? I always knew, but I really knew when I put out my first mixtape when I was 13. I was passing the CDs around the school, and then shout out my boy Xavier, shout out High Heat Sneakers. Hey, if you're looking for some sneakers, bro, go to High Heat. You already know what time it is. Zay, that's like my cousin. Like, our moms grew up together.
Oh, yeah.
And basically we was going up and down from Portsmouth, Virginia to like PG. And he was cool in his school because all the girls liked him. Like, at the time, all the girls just liked him. You know what I mean? So I gave him CDs to pass around the school. I pulled up to the school to pick him up, and the girls was fangirling over me. Like, I'm signing autographs. Like, you remember the car riders line? It was, yes, because it was like, there was no social media. You know what I'm saying? None of that stuff was real. None of that stuff existed. So it was like, if you was cool and you was popular and you pulled up somewhere, people was going to respond. Like, they never seen you. So my mom is like, why are all these girls screaming over my son? Like, why are they reacting to him like this? Like, what is happening? Like, and I was like, nah, like, I don't even live here. And I just came to pick my cousin up, and they saw me, and I'm signing my own CDs that I printed 4 hours away from home. And I think that was the moment when I was like, okay, maybe I could really do it. But then when ILook dropped, then I was like, oh, no, nobody can tell me nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
When ILook dropped, I was like, yeah, nah.
And then in your senior year of high school, you already feeling yourself because you was senior. You get what I'm saying? Was that, no, junior?
ILook was my junior year, and then we did MTV my senior year. Shout out DJ Beauty and the Beats. Man,
you was already feeling yourself. You were upperclassmen in high school. You about to get out. You about to go to graduation, prom. That must have been a moment. You still have that mixtape?
What mixtape?
Your first one.
Digitally. I don't have it on CD, but I got the records. Yeah.
I need to hear it.
I'll play it before I leave.
Okay.
It was cool. I was 13. I was kind of going crazy for a 13-year-old. I was kind of going wild. But to be 13, like, I listen back to him now, I'm like, dang, bro, I was really rapping like that at 13. It's nuts. But yeah, I honestly, about the senior year, man, I won't even press for prom. That's how me and my wife ended up together, because I didn't even want to go to prom. I was actually trying to find her a boyfriend to go to prom with her, and I ended up being the boyfriend.
Hey.
We've been together ever since, so
I love
that's
it.
what happened.
You know, it's always funny when people say, I didn't go to my prom. I didn't care for prom because, like, I didn't have prom. He didn't have prom. We didn't have prom because of COVID. So I'm like, I hear the word prom and it's like seeing red.
I feel it. That's crazy.
But we'll see. Hopefully I have other opportunities to dress up
Absolutely.
in my life. You know,
Absolutely.
get my face beat and whatnot.
Absolutely. Wedding, banquets, like the whole award shows. What you mean?
Grammys.
Exactly.
I don't know how I'm going to get into Grammys. You know, matter of fact, red carpet, this is super random. Red carpet is like one of my biggest aspirations. Like red carpet interviews.
Oh, yeah, you got that then.
Oh, my God. That is like, that's how I see myself getting to the Grammys, honestly.
Oh, we're going to have to run this interview back on the red carpet then.
Absolutely.
That's dope. And they can show the clip.
Yeah, they can. And be like, yeah, she was destined to come here. Yeah, I was. Even before y'all knew. Like, I'm the people that watch the pre-show. Nobody watches pre-shows. For like award shows, nobody watches that stuff. But me, I watch it. The moment it comes on, it started like 6:30. Everybody waits till 8. I'm like, no, I need to see, what they wearing, how they doing. I like to take little notes on how they do stuff, because I'm a work in progress.
Listen, you got it. Y'all next for sure. Like, it's like I said earlier, man, it's not even close. It's not even me like, it's like, nah, I see it. Like,
and then with 2024 being so close, it's like, oh, this is my favorite time of the year. One, I love Christmas. And then two, it just feel like a reset.
Shout out to the reset. Yeah. If you ain't streamed the album, you have to go stream. Go stream my new album, The Reset. Listen, shout out to Mixed by KM. Shout out to By Lo-Fi, Nicktoons, Izzy Lemons, Johnny Leslie. Who else we had on that joint?
Man,
Who else
so
produced?
many people that goes
Listen,
into that.
the whole squad. Medium Creative Agency, DJ Finesse Productions. Listen, man. Nicktoons, and Nicktoons again.
Shout out Nicktoons.
Bro, Nick produced like half the album, man. Oh my gosh. And Royal Ansem. Shout out Royal Ansem. Came in last minute. Bro done worked with Jace. He done does he have a Yeet placement? I think Royal got a Yeet placement.
Got a what?
Yeet.
What's that?
Yeet, the rapper?
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know. Does he have a Yeet placement? I think he got a Slump Sixes placement. All I know is Royal Ansem in stereo. Crazy. Crazy duo.
So, as I mentioned, when you first got here, you the first like parent I've had on the show. I mean, I've had parents on like the Instagram lives, but as far as like coming in, you the first one. So
glad to be here.
Yeah.
Glad to be first time for everything. You
Absolutely.
know what I'm saying?
So, being a dad now, do you feel like you make music differently, or does like, I don't know, does music like sound differently? Like, say when you make music, is the motivation different? Like, are you more mindful about what you say or what you don't say? Because I don't have kids, right? So everybody says like when you have a kid, everything is just different. They just say everything is different.
For me, no.
Okay.
Only because I was always a dad. Like, and I've said this, I haven't said this like on like in this type of platform, but I've always been a dad in my head. Like, even back in high school, the way that I would pick the girls that I would be with would be solely, not solely based, but majority based on how I feel like they would be as a mom, how they would treat my kids, the type of genetics they pass down to my kids. Like, that's a very big thing in my family. Like, maybe everybody family don't think like that, but like my cousins was real, like, shout out to all my cousins. Like, my older cousins was real strict on, like, I'm trying to find the words to say it, like genetics. Okay. I'll say that, and making sure that our genetics can be expressed in the best way possible through our kids. So if Shawty was bad, like just beautiful, but her brain wasn't where I needed it to be, or I felt like she may not be the smartest, then like that sounds terrible, but it's true. Like, it's true. You gotta really, like, as a man, I know our first instinct is to procreate, but we don't really think with our brains about what happens if you mess around and get that girl pregnant. Like, so you mess around and like they don't look into the family dynamic of, you know, how her family structure is, or how she was raised, or any of those things. And that may sound crazy, but I promise you, if you're that meticulous, like Chad Ochocinco said, like, in a way, I didn't do this, but he wouldn't date a girl. A girl wouldn't make it past the first date or something like that until he saw her run, because he's like, oh, my kid's got to be fast. So he would judge the woman by her ankles. Like, he say crazy stuff like that. He like, I look at her ankles, and if her ankles ain't like, if her ankles this, then like, oh nah, we can't date, because if I, you know what I'm saying, if we have kids, you gonna mess up the speed. That's him. So like, for me, I always was thinking about my son. Like, people was like, oh, you don't know if you're gonna have a boy first? I always used to say I was gonna have a boy first since I was like 7-8 years old. So in my mind, I'm dating to pick the best mom for my son. I'm working to try and provide the best life for my son, and I'm gonna make sacrifices so that my son can have the family structure that I know he should have. And I'm thinking like that at 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I don't even got no kid yet. So when he gets here, I'm like, this what I did all this for. Like, this why we here. You know what I mean? So I hope that answers your question. Maybe not. Maybe that was a sobering answer,
No,
but
it does. I actually wasn't expecting that. When you said you've always been a dad, I thought you were gonna say like you grew up not taking care of, but like assisting with helping like your brother or like nieces or nephews. I don't know if you have nieces or nephews, but like that.
I do have nieces and nephews, but I mean, I did play a role like with my younger brother. But like when I said that, like nah, like in my head, I was like, I want my son to be this. He's always been in my brain. So seeing him
here,
yeah, it just is like, all right, bet, like this is what we do it for. Let's go.
And his name, did y'all pick his name together, or did you like already have his name? Because you said you
Gabs. Oh, Gabs, you gonna get me in trouble.
Uh-oh.
You gonna get me in trouble because now it's about to be on record that I named my son. I didn't name him after Shiloh Sanders, but he was inspired by Shiloh Sanders.
I don't even know who that is.
Shiloh Sanders is Deion Sanders' son. He got the coolest name ever. Shout out Headache Gang. Bro, we rocking folks on the field, bro. Like, bro is him. And I want to, like, to me, who you name your child after, or like where you get the inspiration for your name, it carries. So Shiloh Sanders is a freaking baller. And he got that intensity to him. He a dog on the field. He got that swagger to him like his dad. Like, so when you see the namesake or where you get your name from, he can be like, he was a baller. You know what I'm saying? He got to it. Same thing with me. Like, I'm named after a king in the Bible. You know what I mean? And he, King Asa basically took away all of the idols in that land, all the false gods and all the false idols, and really, like, brought up, you know, God, you know what I'm saying? Christ, like the one true God, like really made it like a thing in the area type. So like when I see stuff like that, like, oh, there's greatness attached to my name. There's leadership attached to my name. There's this, that, and the third attached to my name. So that when I go out and I'm doing my thing, I know where it come from. So I heard Shiloh Sanders, Gabby liked the name, and it just went from there.
Yeah.
And every time I bring up Shiloh Sanders, he's not named after. Yes, it is, baby. It is what it is. And it's on the interview now. And you're not even here at the interview spot to contest it. So
we need to give her a chance to
it is what it
herself.
is. We might have to. Now because it is what it is, man.
So I know you just released The Reset. Shout out to Reset. Back in August. So what are you working on right now?
Honestly, right now, we're just working on making more visuals, you know what I'm saying, to the music as much as possible. Just giving as much content as possible to help the music live. We got some things in store. I'm finishing up a project with me and Main 2 Wavy. If y'all know who Main 2 Wavy is, bro, cold. Bro, freaking cold, bruh. Main 2 Wavy is one of the coldest dudes outside, bruh. But we got a project dropping in January. I'm also working on Past, Present, Future, The Reset Volume 2. Hopefully we can drop that in May or June. That's my first time actually saying it out loud.
Hey now.
But yeah, we working on The Reset Part 2, Past, Present, Future. And yeah, man, me and Caitlin Duff, as well as Medium Creative Agency, we're really just trying to work to make some great experiences for you guys. Put some shows together so we can start, having a good time with the music that we make. And yeah, so shout out Caitlin Duff, shout out Medium Creative Agency, Quinell Holder, Sabrina Holder, all the producers on the team, Royal Lansom, and all the guys, Nick Tunes, everybody, Izzy, everybody, Buy Lo-Fi. And we all just working to try and, keep the momentum crazy so that we can make some dope experiences.
You direct? Do you direct?
I direct what?
Do you direct? You said you're working on visuals.
Oh, yeah. But visuals, like, for the music, though.
Yeah, like music videos.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, wait. What do you mean by visuals then?
So, like, visuals, like, music videos, content, like, the whole thing. I don't know. I mean, I guess I've directed music videos before. I guess. Me and Cold Wolf Visuals. Me and Miguel, I guess. Me and Justin Artist, I guess.
Yo, you don't sound sure.
No, because everything I do nowadays and always have done, for the most part, is, like, extremely, extremely natural. So, like, I don't have, like, me and Miguel will, like, go I'll be like, hey, I need to shoot a video for this. Okay, cool. Bet. Where we going? Here. All right, bet. And we pull up and we just shoot.
Okay.
Like, we don't, like,
It's natural.
Yeah, it's very, very natural. I think maybe only a handful of times, like, we really, like, you know what I mean? But everything is very, like, regular with me.
Interesting.
So that's why I was like, direct, I guess, technically. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe that's a challenge you can take on for 2024. Directing, like, putting more, I don't want to say thought, but like,
putting more thought in the visuals.
Like, storyline. I love a good storyline in a music video.
I respect it.
I love a good storyline. That's just a thought.
I respect it. No, I respect it. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like, especially with this project and the stuff and the records that we got, like, I could easily be saying that it, like, I could easily be doing what you're saying that I'm doing, but it doesn't feel like I'm doing it.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because, like, for example, if anybody goes back and watches the Flavors video, that video was directed. Don't Fake was directed. ILook was directed. Like, all of the stuff was directed. It just didn't feel like it was directed.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm following you now.
So that's why I'm like,
maybe.
Shrek face. You know? You already know what I was you already know what I was talking about.
What advice would you have for somebody who is looking for, like, instant gratification? Like, I want to put a song out and I want that to blow up.
Bro, you gotta grind, bro. And you gotta be willing to accept failure before you can take a W. Like, I really was rapping in my room for like 2, 3, 4 years before anybody even really heard it for real. And then I was rapping for like 6 years. No, I was rapping for 7 years before I had a song that really popped off. Like actually popped off. Like, I had like the Dumb Thought record was like my first joint that had a little bit of something. But like the record that really like made people take me serious and made industry people around me take me serious, it took me 7 years. That's not everybody's story, but if you want to keep what you got, boy, you're gonna have to grind. You're gonna have to like really go for whatever it is. Like, what Dre say, anybody can get it. The hard part is keeping it. You know what I mean? So if you want to have something that's sustainable and something that lasts and something that you can have for a long time that nobody can take away from you, you're going to have to go through something and you're going to have to stick it out. You know what I mean? Listen, legends ain't Minute Maid, bro. The best juice ain't Minute Maid. Minute Maid don't even got juice in it. What'd that tell you? You know what I'm saying? So
I need to fact check that.
It don't.
What?
Minute Maid got like, what the phone? Minute Maid is like 10% juice, bro.
Yo.
Minute Maid is 10% juice.
Yo.
I'm gonna
Why you look that up? Going back to what you said.
Yeah.
Like 7 years before like anything ever happened.
Yeah.
I've been doing this about 5 years now, and it's like some videos do better than others. Some do a little lower, but I'm like, you still gotta go.
Yeah.
Still gotta keep pushing. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
nothing is gonna happen.
Absolutely.
Ever.
Bro.
There's no chance that you make it.
At all. I
need to, if it's a chance I can make it, I'll hold on to that 2%. You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
I'm gonna hold on to that.
Facts.
But it's all about how bad you want it.
Exactly. And that's what it boils down to, man. Like, just gotta be willing to go for it, man. Everything ain't gonna come easy. Ain't anything easy in life just ain't worth having, because it ain't gonna last, bro. Like 5-minute rice. Like 5-minute rice, bro. 5-minute rice ain't even like good. It's rice, but it ain't even rice for real. Like, the way your body digests 5-minute rice is not gonna be the same way that your body digests wild rice or quinoa or no real grain, bro. So like, listen, it's all in nature, bro. Like, it's right there, bro. Like, you can't just whip something up quick. Like, even the microwave, bro. Like, if y'all ain't know, like, I'm big on health and fitness, so it's a thing. But like the microwave, bro.
Vegan or something?
Nah,
I eat regular.
I eat regular, but the crazy thing, that joint, you went from, oh, he's into fitness. Oh, bet he's vegan.
Yeah,
nah. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nah. I'm into bodybuilding, and I'm into but doing it in a holistic way. Shout out my cousins. all that. But yeah, man, like anything that's quick, like I don't know if you noticed, but did you know that like the microwave really like breaks it? You know why you hear the popping sounds? You don't know what that is? No. The popping sounds on the microwave are the atoms being ripped apart of your food, bro. Like it literally changes the molecular structure of your food. The microwave.
Did not know that.
Yes, bro. That's why when you hearing that popping sound, bro, it's literally it's the atoms being aggressively ripped apart from your food, bro. Yes.
Did not know that.
Bro, it's crazy.
And it makes sense. Because you ever put something in the microwave and like 10 seconds in, that joint just start popping? It's like it can't be that hot already.
No, like it is, but it isn't. And it is because of how aggressively the molecular structure of your food is. You ever put like a certain type of food in the microwave, bro, and the whole texture is just different. It's just like once you take the food out, because it's not even the same food. So how you think about like instant gratification is how you got to think of the microwave, bro. Like, okay, you ain't gonna put your french fries back in the microwave, is you?
Sure not.
You ain't gonna put fried chicken back in the microwave unless you like really, really hungry. Like you just really want something at that moment. But like you gonna pop that boy in the toaster oven. you gonna warm up the oven. You gonna put that bad boy on 375, 400. And then you're going to put it on 10 minutes. You're going to let that skin get crispy. That's what you're going to do. Perhaps. Why are you going to do that with your life? Why you going to play with your life like that? You going to put your life in the microwave? You going to 5-minute rice your way through your life? You going to 5-minute rice your life?
You need to put that on a t-shirt.
Come on, man.
I will get it.
Come on, man.
5-minute rice your life.
You going to 5-minute rice your life? Is that what you going to do? What else you going to do? You going to tang your game? Huh? Tang? What y'all know about Tang? I don't know nothing about no Tang, man. Y'all know nothing. I barely know nothing about no Tang. So I know y'all don't know nothing about no Tang.
I sure don't.
Tang is like it's like orange juice. It's like powder. It's like Kool-Aid orange juice. Tang.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that ain't orange juice. It ain't no fresh squeeze joint. It ain't the first watch joint. You feel what I'm saying? Like it ain't that. So why you gonna do that with your life? You know what I mean?
It's all connected.
It's all connected. I promise.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Don't 5-minute rice your life.
Don't
you hear that?
5-minute rice your life.
Don't forget that. I'm gonna do something.
That's crazy. I thought about that off the top of my head, man. That's God. What they say? What they say? Who said that? That's God. Keep God in your life. You know what I mean? What they say?
It sound like Kanye
Drewski.
West. Oh. That sound like Kanye West.
You know what I'm saying?
This was a phenomenal episode. I'm low-key speechless. Like, this is great conversation.
Oh, thank you.
Great
I enjoyed it. It was dope.
Yeah, I hope you take away something from this episode. Like, I'm taking away something from this episode. Every episode I take away something different, but like I get to go throughout. I don't know how to explain it. Like, tomorrow my day is going to be different because of this conversation.
Oh,
and
wow.
I genuinely do mean that. Like,
wow.
Pretty much I'm gonna just let it out. My episode is coming soon, y'all. My episode is kicking off the new year, and y'all gonna hear about like how this whole thing got started. But just as like to kick it off, it's like the whole motivational speaking type thing comes because I remember being so little and having like, you know, like speakers come to your school and nobody really pays attention. They're like, I don't know what they talking about really, but I just absorb so much stuff. I'm like a sponge when it comes to like people speaking, and a lot of like things people forget about sticks with me, and then it forms the rest of my life.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like,
that's dope.
I had a teacher. One day in class, somebody had asked him something about like what's on his bucket list, something like that. Just random conversation. He was like, "Oh, I've done everything I wanted to do as a kid. I've done it." And that just stuck with me because how cool is that? Like, as a kid, your mind goes wild. 100%. And you did everything that your child self wanted to do. I just never forgot that. He probably don't even know that. So, yeah, I'm just a sponge when it comes to, like, having conversation. I love to talk. Love to talk to people.
I respect it. I appreciate you having me here. I enjoyed myself. You know what I mean? We had some laughs. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I respect it. I really respect what you're doing here. Like, your whole swerve, like it's dope. So I'm just glad to be here. Glad to be a part of it, for real.
Anytime you want to come back, you know, the door's open. You here now. You here.
That's a bet.
So
Say
yeah,
less.
come back. If you see anybody that you want to sit in on, come back.
Bet that.
It's open door.
Thank you. I
For
appreciate
sure.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. Great episode. I hope you took something away from it, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you.